This is the Drake Passage, the world's most dangerous sea route, which humans have been avoiding for thousands of years. Many people believe that the main purpose of building the Panama Canal was to connect America's eastern coast with South America and the rest of the world through a shorter route. And yes, this is true, but that wasn't the only reason. Another very big reason for building the Panama Canal was that all sea vessels wanted to avoid the 620-mile stretch between Antarctica and Cape Horn. This is the point where the Pacific, Atlantic, and Southern Oceans meet. But why is this area called the Drake Passage? And what exactly happens here that even today crossing it feels like walking into the jaws of death? To answer this, we must go back to the 15th century, when Francis Drake, a pirate, had become a symbol of fear across the Atlantic Ocean. This was the time when the British and Spanish empires were trying to control the world. Francis wasn't an ordinary pirate. He had direct support from the British Empire. With this backing, he attacked African cities, looted them, and enslaved their people to take back to Britain. The British Empire was very pleased with Francis. That's why they decided to send him to weaken Spanish control in South America. The plan was that Francis would move along the eastern coastline of South America, conquering towns and villages, then enter the Strait of Magellan, and finally attack villages along the western coast to bring them under British control. Along the way, he was free to loot as much as he wanted. In December 1577, Drake set out on this journey with 200 men and 5 ships. By April, when he reached Argentina, internal conflicts broke out among his crew. Drake executed about 40 of his men in Argentina and abandoned 2 ships there, continuing with the remaining 3. As soon as he crossed the strait into the Pacific Ocean, a violent storm struck, scattering the ships. One ship believed Drake had died and sailed back to England. The second ship, lost in the storm, drifted into the Drake Passage and vanished. Drake followed in search of it and reached the edge of the passage, but seeing the terrifying seas, he realized that moving forward meant certain death. At that time, nobody knew what lay beyond this point, as world maps were not fully developed. Drake turned his ship around and sailed north along the western coast of South America, raiding towns until he reached San Francisco. He never dared to return to Britain through this route, fearing he might get trapped in that deadly area again. This is why the passage was named after him, Drake Passage, because no ship had entered this area before him, or if they had, they never returned alive to tell the tale. Drake once told his close companions that he believed another land or world existed across the sea, which no man had ever reached. What Drake thought was an island was in fact Antarctica. For thousands of years, people believed a continent must exist there. The ancient Greeks even called it Terra Australis Incognita, meaning the unknown southern land. But no one had ever seen it with their own eyes. In the 18th century, British explorer Captain Cook set out in search of this southern continent. He crossed the Atlantic into the Southern Ocean, but never spotted Antarctica. On his return, his ship got trapped in the Drake Passage, and he barely escaped with his life. Cook never again attempted to sail these waters, even though he was considered the greatest explorer of his time, the same man who discovered New Zealand. In his journals, Cook wrote that discovering the southern continent was too risky, and that no man would likely come this far again. But human nature is such that we are drawn to what we are warned against. And so, in the 20th century, the craze for exploration began again. All eyes turned toward the South Pole. In 1914, the famous British explorer Ernest Shackleton attempted an Antarctic expedition. As he approached the Drake Passage, massive waves pushed his ship into icebergs, completely destroying it. Shackleton left some of his men on the ice, while he and 5 others set out in a small lifeboat to find help. After drifting for a month, he finally reached South Georgia Island. Shackleton described the experience as, "This is the worst and most dangerous part of our world's oceans. My survival is nothing short of a miracle." He also wrote, "Antarctica is the last great journey left to mankind." After 3 rescue attempts, Shackleton managed to save all his men, and miraculously, not a single life was lost. Even in modern times, the Drake Passage continues to test human limits. Over the last decade, many such incidents have occurred here. Modern ships have made travel safer than in old times, but even today, most ships prefer the Strait of Magellan instead of risking the Drake Passage. Although the strait also has dangerous fog, freezing winds, and unpredictable weather, it is still considered safer than the Drake Passage. Before the Panama Canal was built, all commercial ships to Western South America and North America had to pass through here. After the canal opened, The Drake Passage was nearly abandoned. But now, with the Panama Canal itself under threat, ships may once again return to this deadly route. The Drake Passage is one of the world's greatest no-go areas, yet it plays a crucial role. When Antarctica's ice melts, the water flows into the rest of the world's oceans through this passage. It also reminds us of a timeless truth. No matter how advanced human technology becomes, before nature, we remain as helpless as we were thousands of years ago. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It might be a small thing for you, but it means a lot of motivation for us. See you in the next video with another interesting topic. Take care.